It's that time again where I need to pick the books that I want to read in the next month, and I haven't done one in a long time on this channel. But believe me, I still make TBRs. I just don't talk about them with anyone. And the reason is because I'm a mood reader. So I will probably give you this elaborate reason why I'm making a TBR, not read them, but we're still here for the game. I still want to test myself a little bit. I have 2 books that I've already decided are on my TBR. I'll show you those first. First one is They Threw Us Away by Daniel Kraus, who is an author I really want to read some other stuff by. They just came out with Whale Fall, which sounds really interesting. But this one is a middle grade sort of horror book that I have heard a lot about from Bear, and because their birthday is in September, they said that I should read this in honor of them. So I'm very excited. This was honestly a book that I only picked up because they had talked about it. Says, is anyone there? I think I'm lost. When Buddy wakes up in the middle of a garbage dump, he is filled with a certain awareness. He's a teddy bear, he spent time at a store waiting for his future to begin, and he is meant for the arms of a loving child. Now he knows one more thing. Something has gone terribly wrong. And this is a series, so maybe I like it and keep going. But the reason I had also been talking to Bear about this is because I don't read middle grade. And to me, this obviously screams middle grade, but at the same time, it could be really dark. I also am already reading, I started this last night, but this is The Only Game in Town by Lacey Walden. This is a book about this girl who is like a townie in a small Georgia town. A character named Carter comes into town. His grandfather has recently passed away and was a huge staple in this town. And so he's there for the funeral, and him and Jess meet. And I believe what ends up happening is the will gets read, and then they have to partner up together to go on this like massive town-wide scavenger hunt where they need to figure out some mystery to get Carter's inheritance. I think that's the plot. I am gonna be a mood reader for this month. However, I did also put together a spinning wheel of prompts for myself, which I'm not gonna worry about screen recording or anything. You're just gonna have to trust me. But I want to pick 5 books off this spinning wheel. And the prompts are a book from my old TBR, which is books bought before 2023. The oldest book that I bought that I still own and have unread in 2023, an anthology or short story collection, a book adapted either to a movie or a TV show, a book that I started but did not finish, a book that is either an ARC or I got it from a publisher, like sent it to me or something, and then an author I've read before. I'm gonna try to get them all off my physical TBR because there's a lot of books I'm avoiding on here. Like these top 2 shelves, I talk about it in another video, but these are horror and romance, and it's what I've been more gearing toward. But I do have 2 other shelves. These are like sci-fi. Actually, I have 4 other shelves. These are sci-fi. There's some manga and graphic novels on the bottom here. There is just a lot of things that at the time of purchasing them, I thought I really wanted to read them, and I put it off for a very long time. So we're gonna spin the wheel, and I'm gonna try to pick from the lower shelves so that I can make some tough decisions and get through some of these books. It landed on ARC, or something that a publisher gifted me, and just to be safe, I am going to stay within the realm of like a horror type feeling. And I'm gonna read this thing Between Us by Gus Moreno, which is an ARC that I requested a while back. Says, a widower battles the dark force inhabiting his smart speaker in this extraordinarily frightening debut that left Paul Tremblay genuinely creeped out, unsettled, and shaken. And this came out, I think, in 2021, so clearly I haven't actually gotten a good chance to read it yet. But we love a Paul Tremblay endorsement. I love Paul Tremblay. The reason I haven't read it is because I tried to read The Mansion, which was a weird haunted smart house kind of book, and it was very slow and annoying and just very cis white men-y. It's also pretty short. It's a small book, and oh, I just peeked and I saw something that said, "Pull me out of the wall," like written like 100 times, so that's terrifying. We'll add that to the list. So that's book number 1 off my list. Let's spin the wheel again. I have adapted to movie or show or vice versa. So that one I have a lot, and I always avoid them because I just want to watch the show or movie. We're gonna pick a dangerous one here. Dangerous as in like, I think I'm gonna DNF it. But I have Saint X, which was recently turned into a show. This is by Alexis Shaitkin, And it says, Claire is only 7 years old when her college-age sister, Allison, disappears on the last night of their family vacation at a resort on the Caribbean island of St. X. It says several days later, Allison's body is found and 2 local men employees at the resort are arrested. But the evidence is slim, the timeline against it, and the men are soon released. Years later, a brief but fateful encounter brings Claire together with one of the men originally suspected of murdering her sister. It is a moment that sets Claire on an obsessive pursuit of the truth. We'll see. I'm hoping that the thriller mystery, like reveal kind of stuff is pretty heavy in here so that it goes quickly, but it is a rather big book for a book that is not within my normal genres of interest. So it's dangerous for me, but at least if I don't enjoy it, we can DNF it and be done with it. Let's spin the wheel again. Okay, we have ARC or publisher. I'm not gonna do duplicates because I have enough things on here that I can do duplicates. So we're spinning again. This one is a book by an author I've read before. Okay, we're gonna do Sorrowland by River Solomon because I have obviously heard everyone talk amazing things about this book, say amazing things about this book, and I read The Deep by River Solomon, obviously, because I don't feel like anybody missed that one. This one, I think I was also talking to Bear about recently. I also love this beautiful cover. Says, Vern, 7 months pregnant and desperate to escape the strict religious compound where she was raised, flees for the shelter of the woods. There, she gives birth to twins and plans to raise them far from the influence of the outside world. But even in the forest, Vern is a hunted woman. Forced to fight back against the community that refuses to let her go, she unleashes incredible brutality far beyond what a person should be capable of, her body racked by inexplicable and uncanny changes. To understand her metamorphosis and to protect her small family, she has to face the past and, more troublingly, the future outside the woods. Finding the truth will mean uncovering and not only the secrets of the compound she fled, but also the violent history of America that produced it. Okay. I think Bear said that it did have a lot of like heavy religious stuff in it, but that's because it's like cult based, which can often be very heavily religious. Okay, let's pick 2 more off my spinning wheel of doom. I got ARC or publisher again. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Okay, we're taking ARC or publisher off because I just got it again and I don't want to do that. Damn, okay. An anthology or short story collection, which I do have plenty of and I never get around to reading them. Easy pick, easy pick. It's my time. It's your time, Angel. I have Dominion, an anthology of speculative fiction from Africa and the African diaspora. And if this cover isn't enough to convince you to read this book, like oh, it's so beautiful. I've had this for a pretty long time. Dominion is the first anthology of speculative fiction and poetry by Africans and the African diaspora. See, this is what I needed. I've wanted to read this for so long. But I'm really bad at reading collections and anthologies, and so this was the time to do this. I'm very excited. And one last one left. We'll spin one last time and we will call it a day. Nope, we're not doing anthology and short story again. Spin it again. We're gonna remove that because this spinning wheel is so unevenly balanced or something. The last one is one that's a little concerning. It is a book that I started and did not finish, which usually means that I'm not feeling it at the time, but I want to give it another chance. You know, we're gonna make a deep cut today. We're gonna try to finish Authority by Jeff Vandermeer. Number 1, because this edition is absolutely beautiful and I loved Annihilation. Number 2, because I own, I don't know if you can see it up here, this is my 2nd copy all the way at the top of the Annihilation Area X trilogy. Because in my brain, I was like, I have to like all 3 of them. And I read a decent amount of this a long time ago on my Kindle. It was probably 2017, 2018, and then I just never finished it. I was actually enjoying it quite a bit, but I also own the 3rd book, and then obviously my big collection up there, so we will read this. Annihilation, if you don't know, is about, it's a sci-fi about this area called Area X that's been discovered in the middle of the woods, and like there's almost like a barrier where you go into it, and there's a lot of weird ecological phenomenon that are happening, and it was very creepy and probably one of my all-time favorite books. This is set like after the 1st book, in which they are talking to people after the fact that book 1 happened and kind of talking about the bad practices of this organization that sent people in, because the group that goes into that area in the 1st book is not the 1st group, and I don't think anybody comes back out after you're sent in. And I own quite a lot of books by Jeff Vandermeer, so I really need to start reading them. So that's it. Here's my lovely little stack. I must say that despite forcing myself to pick some of these books at the top. I am excited. I think Saint X is the only one that I'm not terribly excited about. So that's it. That's what we have, folks. I'm gonna maybe do some reading vlogs this month because I had a lot of fun doing my swapping screen time with reading vlogs. So maybe I'll do that again this month, or I might just read with you guys and we will talk about some books. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'm really looking forward to next month. Let me know what you're reading down below, and I will see you next time.